Boom! All right, Kenman here, and today N Valley's quest to convert me to a Spyderco lover continues. He sent me a package of a bunch of his knives to kind of check out, observe, share with all of you, and fall in love with before I have to send them back to him. Another Spyderco you all may know if you're part of the channel. I have not been a big fan of Spyderco. Had some issues opening them. I think it's with my larger hands. It's kind of a my problem thing, but people are trying to convert me. Here's another one. Let's check it out. I've been falling for them. Every single new one of that he sends me that I'm checking out today. Spydiechef. Ooh. Spyderco trademark round hole. Golden, Colorado, USA. Okay, this one is also heavily modified. I'll put a link down in the description. I can't remember who he said did it. I'll have to ask him quick before I post the video. Box on the floor gently for him to return to. Bag on the floor. The Spydiechef. Ugh. Boom. Check it out. All of its glory. Oh, I can open it. Can I thumb it out? It's a little bit hard with that lock bar right there. But the flick out, boom, quite satisfying. All right. What are we looking at? Well, this has a full modification going on. Like I said, we have an LC200N blade steel. Looks like it has been acid etched and stone washed. Not sure if it had markings on it before, but I cannot see any markings on it now. We have a titanium handle here, full titanium lock bar with a nice custom pattern on there, kind of a blue to purple almost fade with the transition, blue square circles into the purple. Really kind of a fun, cool design. I'd like to look into kind of messing around with some stuff like that. Looks like it's a dual fade or a dual ano. Clip can be swapped to the other side, that wire clip. He swapped this to the lefty. He's also a lefty, so this Spydiechef flicks out really nice in a left hand, but the right thumb doesn't really get in there very good. I haven't really been able to flick that out very well. It doesn't give much access on that side compared to this side, obviously. So as a righty, you'd have to be only doing the thumb out, which is kind of difficult for me. I'm still learning on the Spydercos here. I have struggles opening. Almost can flick that out there. Pretty close. I suppose if I practice it a little bit, I could probably get that to work in the right hand. But I am a lefty, so really my main concern is, can I do this and put pressure on that lock bar, which I can basically do. I wonder how hard I have to push. If I can push pretty hard with my thumb and still flick it out. So really, this is a perfect example of how you can put pressure on a lock bar and it does not affect that blade opening up. A lot of knives that are like that for lefties, you put pressure right there and it's gonna lock it up and not allow it to flick out. So I got to give it that. That's pretty cool. This design factor on the Spydiechef is pretty wild. Blade shape is really cool. Handle's got a nice, weird, interesting angular kind of swoop to it. Flat piece of titanium, does have a little contour carved into it right up on the top there, but other than that, it's flat with just the chamfered edges. But I don't mind that. It's a good enough, big enough size that it fits in the hand well. No jimps. I like a jimp. I do like the way that kind of sweeps up in a way almost. It just feels like it kind of starts to ramp up towards the tip of the blade. Index finger out there puts that point in a nice spot for doing work. Plus you've got this big belly for sweeping into some cuts. But that tip still is real easy to get into a spot that you need it. Got the signature Spyderco hole right there, but flicks out just fine for that lefty. Yeah, what do we think about this? Fun kind of stuff. Interesting custom on this one as well. Just do the rollout. Blade is solid, no movement, nice and centered. Yeah, digging it. So there is a big Edyards lanyard hole right there. I did say you can swap the clip to the left side. Pretty usable as a lefty, no doubt. I like this custom job. Well done. 7 7/8 end to end. Blade could be considered 3 3/4, 3.5. Cutting surface is 3.5 with a slight curve on the belly. And the handle is 4.5. Thickness 0.11, 0.1. Yeah, it's 0.1. I didn't get a good. And then it drops off right about there. So it carries out the 0.1 to about there and starts to taper off in one long flat grind on there. I love that blade shape. That point is nice. And that little, just that little swoop up makes it have more of a belly and still give you a controllable tip. I dig it. 0.39. Wow, that is a thin handle. Thickest part this way, 102. Thickest of the blade, 124. This battery is just being magical. Here we go, flashing. But how many months has it been ticking away on us, telling us that it's running out of juice, when it just does, in fact, not run out of juice. All right. Spydiechef weight 3.76. I compare everything with the Kaiser Drop Bear 329. Very similar. Let's look at a few other Spydercos that it's got me looking at. PM2 375 and the UKPK 171. Got a little bit of everything here. Kind of similar in weight. 3.76 on that one. All right. Boom. I can open it pretty much almost every time, which is great. That was my issue with Spyderco. I'd struggle. I'll show you with the PM2 in a second here. Kaiser Drop Bear, great crossbar lock. Their clutch lock is probably the best version of it out there. Nice set of jimps on here. Same size as your Pyrite, your Bug Out. Good, not quite full size user. Looking at about a 1/2 inch shorter on the front and the back than the Spydiechef, or the Spydiechef is a 1/2 inch bigger. PM2, I used to go way up like this, and then I go to open it, and I'd be getting stuck, and I couldn't get it open. I found because my fingers are so long, my hands are big, I need to get back loose, low here. Then I flip out, and my hand's not in the way at all. We've got a lefty version of this right here as well. This one's one that's really kind of making me go, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe I do want to pick up one of these. That is fun. Once you start figuring it out. So blade is about the same on these two, but the handle on the PM2 Paramilitary 2 is definitely a 1/2 inch or so larger. Definitely feels like a much bigger knife. Now that I'm figuring it out though, yeah, I can dig it. This is the UKPK. This is a slip joint. So this one doesn't have the same action. You got your half stop on there, so it's just a nice roll out with the thumb. I'm actually really enjoying this one as well. I like the colors. I like the action of it. I enjoy slip joints. So 1/2 inch shorter there in the front and the back as well. But don't worry about flicking this one out because you just roll it. Good stuff. I love that choke up spot on the front and the back of this too. So there, I'm just showing you Spyderco starting to kind of get me there. I just struggled so much getting that first couple PM2s to open, and then they're hard to close when you have a compression lock and it's a righty lock. This is a lefty one, so it actually works good for my hand. When you're doing that in the right hand, now you have to squeeze it kind of with your thumb. It's a little bit different kind of a grip, and so I struggled with that as well. So I know I'll end up wanting to get a lefty version or something that is compatible like these other two, where it wouldn't really matter. Not sure how much he's used this. I do like to do paper cut tests with the new knives, but this has been modded and around, so we'll see. Oh, but it is very, ooh, see that curly one? Wow, let's get rid of the rest of this. That is really fun. That is definitely a 9. Focus. Fun when they are slicey like that, right? Yeah. This one's been around, been used as well, and it's still either, that's the thing, when I've got someone's used knife, you can never judge it. Maybe you just have to give it a couple strops and it's in rock and roll shape. This one is already there. What a fun one. Anybody have a Spydiechef? What do they think about the customizations done to this? Thanks again to N Valley for sending me some of these knives to check out. Get me all kind of going on the Spydercos. Which one should I buy? Which one should I look at? Comment below. Tell me all about your Spyderco journey as well. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.